And whenever everyone's ready, I'm ready. Good? All right. Easiest question for you. Can you just spell and pronounce your first and last name for us?
Jasmine Faison, Jasmine Faison.
And I know we all know it, but just for anyone out there, your relation obviously too.
Oh, I'm his wife.
Tell us a little bit, just in general. I mean, how are you doing so far? It's obviously been a little over a month. How have things been for you and everyone?
Just taking it one day at a time. Every time the doctor comes in, they're giving us good news, so we're optimistic about the future. Hopefully, he'll be back sooner than they guess. When he first got there, they thought that it was going to take a lot longer to regain his mobility, but I mean, he's moving quicker than they thought. He's moving toes, fingers, so optimistic.
If you're able to share, can you talk to us a little bit about, I guess, the progress, maybe some steps that are going into like the day-to-day life for him as he's recovering?
So right now he's working on just getting back to where he was. So we're trying things like him feeding himself. He's brushing his teeth by himself. Not quite holding a spoon yet, but he can feed us stuff like cookies. So his everyday meals, I can feed him that. But if you want stuff like Oreos, I'm like, you gotta feed those to yourself. Things like that. Like before I left, he was eating some gummy bears. He's left-handed, so the left side is gaining mobility. The other day, I called him and he answered the phone by himself. So he's just trying to get things back to where it was. So our plan when I go back up there is to bring him a Nerf gun, because obviously he's a police officer, so he can start working that trigger finger again. so he can start to get back to how things were before.
Those sound like small tasks and tasks people wouldn't think of, but like knowing that he's doing those, how does that make you feel to know he's progressing just a little bit?
Honestly, because he's giving his best in physical therapy, that's all I can ask for. Sometimes I can tell things are really uncomfortable and he's in a lot of pain, but he's still pushing through it because we have a 4-year-old, and so prior to this, their activities were, going outside, going on walks, playing with bubbles. He can't do that right now, so he's just trying to get back to where he was for both of us.
For you, in general, I mean, not to relive those moments, but when things happened, how scary was it at the time for you? I mean, you said you have a child put together. I mean, if you're able to share that, if that's okay.
He's really stubborn. So the nurse, when she called, she said that he was alert and responsive. I just got cookies DoorDash right before, so I was like, I'm gonna bring him his cookie, we're gonna be fine. And when I got to the hospital, that's when I realized how serious it was, because he wasn't moving anything, and he kept saying, I don't want to be a vegetable. It's like, you're not gonna be a vegetable, and even if you are, I have a vegetable garden, I love vegetables. So it was pretty scary. I was sleeping, got a call at 5:32 in the morning from Shands Hospital, so I just guessed that it wasn't good. It was pretty scary, but we're so grateful that they called and said, he's in the hospital and not, he's passed away, so we're thankful for that.
Tell us a little bit. Oh, go ahead.
What's your morale like now that he's a little better? You've been like a month out. What's that like for you?
It's just to take things day to day. Sometimes, things are not exactly how we'd like it to be. Sometimes he gets a little frustrated because, 2 months ago, he was doing everything himself. He could wash his face, he could get up and go to the restroom. Now he can't do those things, so we're just taking the small victories when they come. Yeah.
Has there been any sort of, sorry, my shoulders are starting to burn as I hold these. Has there been any sort of indication when he'll be able to be released from the hospital or anything like that?
Not as of yet. They're happy with the progress that he is making, so they don't want to give him a discharge date, and there's still more things they could do to help his mobility. So at this point, there's not a discharge date.
And where is he specifically right now? Are you able to share that?
I mean, I could, but I'm sure that a lot of people already know. And also, we don't want to be bombarded with visitors. So
I understand. How about, this event in general? Can you tell us about, just everything today? We got a lot going on. What's it like to see so many people out here, obviously, for him?
I didn't expect it. I didn't expect this many people, but I'm thankful that all these people did show out to support him. And I'm really thankful for JSO and all the support they've given us thus far.
What do you think it means, the fact that so many people have shown up in support for you and the family?
that he's a good guy. I mean, I know he's nice to me because I married him, but I just didn't realize how many people he's affected, how many people he's friends with, just things of that nature. I still have not caught up on all the messages on my phone. I think I have about 52 that I haven't answered right now. And then his phone, his texts, his Facebook messages, his Snapchat messages. Maybe if I had a couple more sets of hands, then I could respond to people. But no, just so many people have been reaching out to him, and it's just really wonderful to know that he's affected that many people and that many people love him and care.
And then how's your son doing in all this?
He really would like us to come home. We did have to have a talk about what exactly is going on, why I'm at the hospital so much, but also he's an adult man. I mean, he's an adult little boy, so he understands more than we think that he does sometimes. So just try and break down things in the way that he would understand. He would like us to come home, but my mom brings him to visit every day, and they'll usually read a book or eat some snacks together or something of that nature. So he sees him just about every day.
For you as the wife of an officer, as a wife of an officer, I mean, they're putting their lives on the line every single day. It's always a potential that something like this might happen. When it's a reality, though, you know, do you start thinking differently? Does it just feel like what runs through your mind when it became a reality? Because you obviously wanted, I would assume, to go back and do what he loves, right?
Maybe.
Okay.
So I said this is the second shooting he's been involved in where it's been kind of close. So if he does it again, he might be a security guard or be working at the courthouse. But we kind of just don't think about it until it happens because it's a lot to think about every day. We just try and when he leaves for work or when I leave for work, you know, have something nice to say to each other, because those could always be the last words you say. Just, you know, something sweet or something of that nature. So if something does happen, the last words that we said weren't anything that is going to haunt us forever.
You mentioned, sorry, go ahead, Karen.
What does your future look like going forward? I know you said you might want him to change or something
That was
like
my
that.
question.
What would that look like in your ideal world?
He has one more. This is the second strike, the third strike. Third strike, he'll be out. So,
Like stay-at-home dad, maybe?
Security guard slash stay-at-home dad. Just taking care of the family.
I don't know. I really just want him to be safe, but I've grown up in a military household. He was in the Navy prior to this, so it is one of those things where it always could happen. But we don't know. But just from the support that we have received, I think that whatever I do in the future, it would probably, I would like to be that support for someone else because the support has been overwhelming, and so in the future I know this is going to happen again, unfortunately, but just so someone else could have that support and those resources and know who they need to talk to or what exactly they could do to get help.
You mentioned that this was his second shooting that he was involved in. Was the first with JSO or was that?
Was.
Okay. That was,
His
how long ago was
partner,
that?
that was in October of last year.
Okay.
His partner got shot in the back. It was the suspect who jumped off the bridge. That one, off the Dames Point, I believe.
I think I remember.
Yes.
Okay.
So that was his partner. So they responded to a call, got open the garage door, and just started firing. So yes, it was also could have been a similar situation.
And then you mentioned that you wouldn't mind being a help to someone else who's going to go through this. So do you think that's what you probably will be doing next, just being a listening ear to anyone else who goes through this?
Oh, definitely. I feel like I'm an AA sponsor now. Next time someone else goes through this, I'm like, I know it's hard. There was another officer who was shot a couple of years ago, Jeremy Mason, and his wife came and visited me. She brought a gift basket. She said, these are things I did, these are things you could do. And it's different when there's someone who's been in that situation and they can give you they can kind of give you tips or this is how I felt, these are things you can do. It's a little different when someone else has been through that before and they can kind of, tell you, I've been through this, these are things you can do to help you out. So I do see myself doing that in the future.
I know we've asked you like a million questions. We've had you here for a while. I saw you on FaceTime with him a little bit earlier. Is he when you're on FaceTime with him, like obviously in a spot like this, but is he able to, for the most part, speak?
Oh yeah, he can
he's
talk.
good? Okay.
He can. Oh yes, he can definitely talk. Yeah, he's been able to talk since it happened. Right now they're just trying to control his pain level, but no, he can definitely talk.
Good.
It's just the other limbs that are not always cooperating with him.
People love seeing his face on FaceTime. They're like, hey, there he is.
Yeah, so that's what I told him. We'll be on FaceTime probably most of this, so everyone can see him. If we did bring him here, he'd have to get into the wheelchair, come here, and then go back. So it probably would just been a little bit too much for his body because he does still have a bit of pain. So that's why he's there. But I mean, I'm sure he would like to be here, so I'll just do the best I can. So it's like he is here. I'll have a drink for him too.
That's always good.
And then since he's been recovering, what has he found enjoyment doing while he's there?
So I got little games for him. He's a gamer, and he can't really do that because it requires both hands. So there's a little water game that he's doing. We watch a lot of TV. We talk to the baby. We talk. I mean, ourselves. That's kind of it. And also the physical therapists that we have are really wonderful. So it doesn't seem like we're in therapy. It seems like we're kind of hanging out with some friends, working out. So they've been really wonderful through the whole thing.
And then I just have one more. I know I was speaking with someone earlier. They mentioned that your son wanted to be a police officer when he grows up. Has this deterred him at all, or is he still?
No, if you ask him, he'll tell you he's a police officer right now.
Okay.
Oh yeah, yeah. I don't see him not being a police officer. No. I don't know where, but he'll be a police officer somewhere. Yep.
Can you say how old is your son again?
He's 4, he'll be 5 next month. Yes.
Very cool.
And then is there anything we didn't ask that you'd want to add or just throw in there?
Anything you think we might be forgetting?
I don't believe so.
You covered every topic under the sun right now.
I think so. Yeah.
I have had a delt workout of a lifetime.
And I probably should have taken over for you, but
It's okay.
You're getting the muscles for us all.
But anything else that you think that we're missing, or anything that you'd like to share? Anything else?
Just how grateful we are that everyone has done so much. They've spent so much time, energy, money, thoughts and prayers. Some people, they send him messages every day, not even wanting a response. Just, hey, I'm thinking about you, praying about you. These shirts, I mean, anytime someone buys a shirt, it helps out. When they're posting pictures with their shirts on them, every time he's incredibly excited to see that, like, hey, someone else has a shirt. So just through the support we've received, it's been really wonderful.
Is the money, that everything that gets raised today, going to like the GoFundMe link specifically, or do you know where it's going in terms of helping you guys?
It's going to us.
Just to you guys in general.
Yeah, so right now we're just trying to get ahead on our bills, so we don't have to worry about paying bills. We can just worry about what's going on in front of us at that moment. So that's basically what it is. And then also, because of the school my son is going to now, it's a little bit more expensive than daycare. And also he's going to be starting school in the upcoming year, so the tuition for that.
Are you comfortable sharing your son's name? It's okay if not.
It's Malachi. If he sees this, he's going to be super excited.
Can you spell that for us?
Malachi
So
and Daricaud. Yes.
Thank you.
When he saw his picture, he was so excited, and that was the first thing he told my husband. He said, "I saw us on the news together." Yes.
We did it.
Probably would have loved to be here to be like, I was on the news, Daddy.
He might be.
He might be here?
Yeah, he might be a little bit later. If he is, we might stop back by if y'all are still here.
All right, I appreciate your time. I
Thank
think we're all
you
good.
for speaking with us.
Thank you very much. Pleasure to meet you. Glad that you guys are doing okay.
Thank you. And then I know you mentioned pictures. Do you have a picture of Malachi with